Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing acrylic toes. The first step I did was cut her toenails down. You do not want to work with long toenails when you're doing acrylic overlay, because when the acrylic grows out, that means their natural nails going to grow out long as well, and that's going to cause them to be able to hit their toenails and cause them to have damage on their toes. You know, some people, they wear tennis shoes. Some people don't even know how to even walk around with acrylic toes. They just be hitting their toes into everything. So just make sure they have a short toenail. And the toenails do not have to be super short. For me, like if you look at her toenails, none of her toenails was even. So that's why I rather just cut it all off, because they wasn't even anyway. Make the toenails shape square, and I'm able to file the free edge even and straight. You guys always remember, you want to take all the shine off the natural nail. You don't want no shininess at all, and that's for doing acrylic nails and acrylic toes. Now I'm using my young nail swipe, and I'm just dusting off the nail, making sure there's no dust anywhere so it won't have no lifting. And then I'm going to go in with my young nails protein bond. But before you do that, you want to make sure the toenail go back ashy and it's no longer wet, so you can fan it out like I was just doing, or you can just go ahead and let it dry on its own. For the young nail protein bond, you're going to apply that to the nails 2 times. Now I'm going in with my young nail speed white, and what you want to do is make sure you add to your monomer. Well, I use young nails monomer, and what I like to do is add like 2 or 3 drops of acetone, so my acrylic is not so runny. And because with acrylic toes, you want to work with drier beads, so you want to make sure your beads are dry so you can have full control over your beads, and your beads are not running everywhere. So I don't know, the reason why I started on these toes, it don't matter what toes you start on, to be honest. The reason why I started on that toe is, I guess, because I just picked up a smaller bead and I just feel like putting it there. It's no reason why, but you can do with any toes. Start off with any toes. Sometimes I start off with a big toe, sometimes I don't. It just all depends on how I feel. As you can see, I used too much acrylic, and I'm just going to take the end of my cuticle pusher and take some of that acrylic off. And the brush that I'm using today is my Kiara Sky brush, and it's a size 12. Do you notice when I place the bead down how I'm just constantly cleaning the sides and patting the acrylic down? That's what you want to constantly keep on doing until you make that square shape. You want to make sure you're cleaning underneath the nail when the acrylic is dripping down. Make sure you're not letting the acrylic fall all over the place, because it can cause lifting. So with the big toe, what I do is do this in 2 beads. I try to go in with a big bead, pull it down slowly, and making sure I'm cleaning underneath the toenail. So when her natural nail grows out, it's no acrylic just stuck under there where it's stopping her natural nail from growing. If you notice, I'm doing a lot of patting down and I'm doing a lot of pulling. So when I pat the nail down and I'm pulling it, I'm cleaning the sidewalls, making sure I have that square shape. Because when you're doing this, it doesn't matter how long the toenail is, the natural nail is, or how short it is. You still want to give them a square shape. So when I go in with the second bead, I do not put it directly where the cuticle is at. I just pat it into the cuticle area, and if any acrylic get around the cuticle area where it's flooding, all I have to do is clean the sidewalls and clean around the cuticles to make sure it's not, before you want to do it before it dries. So if you do happen to flood your cuticles when you're picking it up, if you're a beginner, just make sure you clean it up pretty good before you let it dry. Now it's time to shape and drill. When I'm doing this, what I do and what I recommend you do is make sure you're pulling your client's skin back, because it has been times where I have cut in my client or was kind of burning their skin a little bit. So you want to make sure your drill one is not too high, it's not on a high speed, and you're very careful with this. I'm using this bit. I don't remember the name of this bit, but I got this off my Amazon, and it came through I think 6 different bits, and I actually like this bit. I'm pretty sure if you type in white nail bit, you can find it on Amazon. And it doesn't matter if you're using a nail bit first, or if you're using your e-file first to file the nails down, or if you decide to use your nail file. I like to just use my e-file first, and then I'll shape my nail square, like a really crispy square with the e-file, and then I go in with my nail file. You want to make sure you're pulling the skin and the acrylic separating from each other, so that way it gives you space to be able to really get underneath the acrylic and file and drill underneath the nail without causing any damage to your client's skin. And again, always pull the skin back. This bit is a cuticle bit, but I like to use it to really get underneath my client toenails, just to thin it out a bit and make sure there's no acrylic stuck underneath it, and clean around the cuticle area, seal the cuticle and the side walls. This bit if you use it too high, you can cut your clients. So just try not to do it, you know, like a high speed. This bit right here, as you can see how it kind of really make the square shape really look natural, and how I'm able to really get, like, if you flood your cuticle a lot, this is going to be help you get all that acrylic that's stuck on the top, around the cuticle area, and that's underneath the nail, on the sidewalls. This is a very great bit to use if you're doing acrylic toes. I'm using my sanding bit. I use this sanding bit just to smooth out the nails, to make sure there's no lumps, no bumps, and my acrylic is very flat and smooth. To make sure I get a very crispy shape towards the ending, I love to go in with my 80/80 grit pan and nail file, which you can find on my Amazon storefront, which will be listed in the link down below. To make sure I get all the acrylic off, I'm going in with this foot shampoo, and I got this from Ulta, I believe, and it's a foot shampoo. I like to use it when you're not doing like a pedicure, and I just scrub the soap all in, and I use alcohol as well. I use alcohol as well just to clean off the soapiness, and I just scrub until I have no acrylic, no dust, no nothing left behind. And then I go in with my D&D top coat. Once I was done, I applied cuticle oil around the cuticle area, and I didn't do it on camera, but this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment.